Just how much pressure is Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer undergoing into year 3 of his tenure? Justin Riley here from the Bama Standard Network. I need you to get in this comment section and blow the sucker up. And also, if you don't mind, hit the like button and subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously. Year 3, huge expectations from the Bama fans geared towards Kalen DeBoer. Not only do we need to make the playoffs, but we've got to make a deeper run and possibly sniff the natty. Not necessarily win it, but hey, who are we to turn that down, right? The schedule is going to be absolutely insane. There is going to be a 4 to 5 game stretch that is absolutely brutal. But Bama fans, you don't want to hear that, right? So the pressure is on. But how much pressure, though, considering Alabama just gave Kalen DeBoer a huge contract extension? They're saying, we believe you. And even if you have a rough patch in 2026, it doesn't matter. We're still backing you. Better things are to come. So, with all the pressure on Kalen DeBoer's shoulders going into 2026, should he seek the advice of the GOAT, Nick Saban? Nick Saban is on campus. He's got an office at Bryant-Denny Stadium. He currently has an advisory role, or so they tell us. So should DeBoer utilize that? Some would argue that DeBoer needs to stand on his own 2 feet, be his own man, and not stand in the shadow of Nick Saban, but instead cast his own shadow. Honestly, I don't think that I'm qualified enough to be able to answer that question. So what we did at this network was we went and got some advice from someone who has done it himself. Former Alabama head coach Bill Curry. Marvin Constant was with me that day along with Smoke Dixon, and Marvin asked him this important question.
But he also has Coach Saban still around with his office in Bryant-Denny. To what extent do you see Coach Saban being involved in the program moving forward?
It may not be quite Coach Bryant level to where he could do anything he wants to, but it's close with what he accomplished there. When you take the Alabama players' commitment and a great football coach like Bryant or Saban, then you can look at the results and tell what happens. And what Coach Saban accomplished there, I don't mean by himself, I know better, but with the Alabama mystique and the Alabama motivation and the great players and coaches that came there, what he did is probably not going to be duplicated by anybody. He wouldn't have done what he's accomplished at his other places of work if he weren't a great coach. As many times as you could get Nick to sit down and talk to you, if you're DeBoer, you need to do that and take notes. I mean, I'm dead serious about that. That's what I would certainly want his advice, and I would make it clear that I would listen to him anytime. The worst chewing out I've ever gotten in my life, and there were several of them, it did not come from Vince Lombardi, it did not come from Don Shula, it came from Bobby Dodd after I was a head coach, because I invited him to come and critique me on Mondays. He said, "Are you sure you want that?" And I said, "Oh, yes, sir." I'm really sorry I did that. It wore me out. But it's important to listen to a coach that really understands things that you don't know about.
We interrupt this awesomeness that you are no doubt enjoying to talk about our big sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks application. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy sports platform distinctly separate from sports betting. This app is really easy to use. Pick more or less on a few players' stats to create a lineup. Player picks, pick stats for individual players, points, yards, strikeouts, all those good things. Team picks, pick the winner, spread, and total on any major game. It's available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Sign up for Prize Picks with the code HMA and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 plus lineup. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Now back to this video. Based on what Coach Bill Curry said, is this an avenue that Kalen DeBoer needs to explore? Get in that comment section, fire it up. Let me know what you think. As always, roll tide, folks.